The committee meets today to receive testimony of the Department of Defense fiscal year 2021 budget request. I welcome our witnesses and thank them for their service, both Dr. Mark Esper and General Mark. We got a pair of Marks this morning. This committee's top priority is ensuring the effectiveness and implementation of the National Defense Strategy. That's our book that we had been adhering to for a long period of time now, about 3 years. Unfortunately, under the last administration, we asked our military to do more with less, and that got us into trouble. Between 2012 and 2017, we lost $150 billion to sequestration. Our defense budget and the readiness of our forces were devastated. I think we all understand that. As a result, when President Trump came to office, he inherited an American military in crisis. Thankfully, he delivered on his promise to begin rebuilding the U.S. Armed Forces. Last year, President Trump negotiated the highest level of defense spending ever, a down payment toward getting our military back to where it needs to be. But that's not enough. We face a more dangerous world today than we anticipated we would. Since then, the Russian has invaded Crimea, backed Assad in Syria, sent mercenaries to Libya, and violated the INF Treaty. China began building islands in the South China Sea, harassing its neighbors more frequently and accelerating its military and nuclear modernization. The Bipartisan National Defense Strategy Commission report said if we're going to adequately fund the National Defense Strategy and take on these threats, it's going to take a 3 to 5% increase, net increase above inflation each year. Now, we're not doing that. That's what we committed to. We had a meeting here. Everyone adheres to the logic of this contract that we agreed to, but we're not carrying through with it. That should mean a budget request would have been, if we had adhered to that, $775 to $790 billion this year. Instead, we've got a budget agreement that provides $740.5 billion for all that we've got to do for our military defense. And that's not your fault, not you guys, but Congress needs to do more, be more realistic about what it's going to take to maintain a force capable of deterring and, if needed, defeating our enemies. We're trying to do more while spending less, and the math just doesn't work that way. That's why you've seen so many stories about how we can't buy necessary equipment. That's why we can't do the training that we need to do. That's why we can't give our troops the tools that they need to keep the peace. It's all in the NDS. We can pay them now, or we can pay them later, and leave when our children, leave the debt to our children and grandchildren to pay, and they'll be doing it so in the more dangerous world if we don't fix the budget tragedy that we're facing right now. I know you've tried to do the best you can within the limits of what you have been given, and I appreciate that you already have found a lot of savings, and you are to be applauded for that. That's hard to do with the decreasing budget which we have today. On that happy note, I look forward to continuing to work with you to make sure our troops have the resources they need to fight and win. Senator Reid.